Sports.
I told y'all not to go anywhere. We are waiting for that green light. And it is going to go green very shortly here. I feel like I'm in my car, and am I the only one when you're in the car? I look at other lights, and when that light turns yellow, you start creeping a little bit. If you're in the wrong lane, you need to get over. And I got to do that sometimes. That's how I feel like I'm doing right now as we are about to get this green light from Doug Christie, and he's going to join the show. Really excited to have Doug on the show on a fully loaded Friday. And I would say that press conference was pretty fully loaded. I wouldn't call it as fully loaded as the Scott Perry presser because, again, obviously different conversations need to be had. Scott Perry, and especially with the Kings, there was so much conversation about the roster construction. So we understand that those things are going to be different. And joining us now, get rid of that interim tag, head coach of your Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie, joins the show. Coach Christie, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime, guys. Hope all is well.
Hope all is well with you, Coach. Coach, real quick, somebody hopped in because, you obviously used to sit in this chair during this time. I had a texter say, Allen, you got to do the whole interview standing up because Coach used to do his show standing up. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. I'm not a big sitter. I sit too much, and actually, I'm standing up right now, my friend. Yeah, I had them come in and change the mic.
Wow, because I was going to ask that too. I'm like, how the mic don't go that high?
Nah, adjustable arm, and you work it out. But yes, I did. That was one of the things that when I first started, I was like, man, all this sitting is killing me, man. Can I? And they said, yeah, we can do that. So yeah, stand up, my man.
All right. I'll stretch the legs a little bit. Joined by Coach Doug Christie. Coach, let's start here. The game ends in Golden 1. Obviously, it was a bit of a disappointing end to the season. So much has happened throughout that season. What was your initial feeling on the chances that you'd remain the head coach and get that interim tag removed?
For me, it was more about the process of me doing my work, and I've never tried to get a job since I've been in Sacramento. It's just kind of been the path that has been laid before me, and I try whatever is put in front of me. I try to do it with a passion and a love and a respect for whatever that discipline is, whether it was radio, whether it was TV, whatever it was. And for me, there was 51 games. I put my heart and soul into it. And then at that point, you let it be what it's going to be. And did I want the job? But yeah, of course. There's only 30 of them. And this one is a beautiful jewel. And I love the people. I love the organization. So for me, it was you just kind of do your work, and then from there it's out of your hands. Control what you can control.
Congratulations, by the way, Coach. I should have started off with that. Congratulations, talking to newly named head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie. Coach, we've seen this happen with the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, but it happened later on in the season. So because of those 51 games with your coaching staff, is it a difficult situation because you played so many games with them or coached so many games with them when it comes to looking for your coaching staff as you build this thing out? Do you feel any loyalty towards them because of the battles that you went through this past season? And do you feel like it's important to have maybe a former NBA head coach on your roster specifically, or is it just anybody that fits the bill?
I mean, more than anything, you always want the super best people. I love all these guys. I appreciate each and every one of them and all that they've done supporting me along the way. This is a conversation that Scott and I will have as we actively pursue and try to make sure that we are crossing T's and dotting I's. And that's just something that's going to go on as we continue down this path. So that one's hard to say, but the point is, I lean on Scott. He's been in this business for a long time, and we will have those conversations in the coming days.
With that being said, what does your summer look like as far as how you'll be communicating with the players and with Scott Perry? What are your goals for the next 5 months from now until training camp?
Um, it's a blur, man. It's going to be nonstop. I've talked to all the players. You know, I communicate with them as much as they will, allow me.
Yep.
But with Scott, we're going to stay in constant communication. I am here. This is, there's work to do. So I'm all in. I like we sleep when we die, man. We got this is important to me. I want to see the utmost and the highest level of success here. So I'm here. I will be, at some point, I'm sure, get some sleep and relax and those things. But I got a lot of planning to do, got a lot of things to deal with, and we're going to hit the ground running. And been talking to Scott, and now is daily. We will be in communication to try to make sure that everything is lined up and going the exact direction that we would like it.
No, I mean, I've been in those pre and post game pressers, Coach, and I don't think you've probably slept since December, or at least you haven't gotten that deep REM in a long time. I'm assuming.
No, man, and whether it's my dog wants to lay on my legs or whatever it is, man, it's. But you know what? It goes with the territory. Every job has its different things, and this one has its things, and I am here for it. The obstacle, I said in the press conference, is the way. So I'm running to it. I'm not running away from it.
There you go. Talking to newly named head coach Doug Christie. Speaking of the summer, coach, that used to be prime time for you and Domas Sabonis to get your work in. How has that relationship evolved with your change in title, and kind of where is it at now since, things have changed a bit?
Domas called me. We've talked, we text. Tiger had his first soccer game, so we talked about that. We haven't really talked about all of that. It's more about life and just things. But I love him to death. He has been so instrumental in a lot of things that I've done, and just humbled to be able to work with such a great talent. And as far as him and working and all those things, we just have to get together and communicate and talk about it. And his goals, I already know them, but we need to address them from this perspective and making sure that he gets everything that he needs, and I will make sure that happens.
Talking to Coach Doug Christie, no interim anymore. Coach, obviously, you'll watch tape on a game. It's a little tougher to watch tape on a whole season, but as you've maybe had a little bit of time so far to reflect, and with the NBA playoffs going on and how great the first round has been, where do you think that you need to improve as a head coach? You can tell me how you excelled. I think we all know where you excelled, and the way that you motivated the guys and everything that we saw from the 7-game winning streak. But the time that you have had to reflect, have there been any parts where you've said, maybe I would have done this differently or that differently, or are you still getting there?
I mean, I think that you do that constantly. I mean, even as a player, like, man, I should have shot that. Oh, I should have passed that. Man, I should have advanced the ball. Like, that is the nature of our game. So even on good decisions, I go back and examine them. Decisions that don't go good, why didn't they go good? Because it could have been good, but maybe we didn't execute it. So there's a lot of different things. I kind of address it similar to when I was a player. I remember I used to get this, like, what are you going to work on in the summer? And I'm working on everything.
Right.
Like, that's just who I am and how I go about it. Even the parts that are quote unquote good, I think that I can be better. So that's that's a whole approach. It's not like one aspect. Like, will there be certain things that as we go along and I talk to Scott and he's like, hey, I want you to look at this part. Yeah, I'm sure that I will do that. But for me, whether it's ATOs, whether it's end of game, whether it's end of quarter, whether it's halftime adjustments, like all those things, and the weird part, like, you can work all you want in the summertime, but not until you stand on that sideline and it's lonely as hell do you figure out that, okay, those are the times when you figure it out. You can work on it all you want, but just from me to you, when you're standing there, that's when it happens, man.
Talking to Coach Christie, just a couple more for you, Coach. Coach, you used to be sitting in this chair like we talked about, or standing right here at the same time, so you know how it goes. Yesterday on the morning show, Sam Amick on these airwaves and mentioned some player circles have gone from they were practicing too much with the previous regime to now maybe they wish that they had practiced a bit more under you. You said you spoke to the team. Have you had any convos about that, or were you aware of that in any way?
No, I mean, I've heard some of that, but it came from a different place, which I won't really address.
Sure.
But listen, like what you just said to me is we practiced too much. Then you said we didn't practice enough.
Right.
And the record was 7-1.
Right.
So what in the hell are we talking about? Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not going to please everybody. And if that's what you're trying to do, you're not probably going to be successful. I'm going to be me. I'm going to have a training camp. We'll practice how we practice. My thing is that we come out on that damn floor and we play how we play.
Right.
That's really what I'm about. So, you know, a lot of people are going to say a lot of things. Hopefully one day they'll put a name to it and own it, because I'm always on mine.
Coach Christie, great stuff. One last question, and I know during the presser you talked about some fastballs and curveballs, so I'm going to lay this one up for you. The people need to know, will the smelling salts make a return in 2026 now that you are the head coach, no more interim? We need to know.
Always, man. You need clarity of mind. I tell you, a lot going on, and that smelling salt hits you. Sometimes I take a little bit too deep of a whiff, and the eyes start watering. So I'll make sure it be easy on that one when Oscar throws it to me.
There you go. Coach Christie, once again, congrats to you. Congrats to you and your family. The team is in great hands. We love what we're hearing from you and Scott Perry. Everybody is excited. We will talk to you again soon. Enjoy your summer. Get some sleep at some point, Coach, and hopefully that's soon. We'll talk to you again.
I appreciate you. Go Kings. Like the bean.
That was Coach Christie. Outstanding stuff from Coach Doug Christie, no more interim. We react to everything that he broke down when we return. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.